Think about the last time you stood on the precipice of a massive life change. Maybe you were moving across the country, starting a new career, or stepping into a new relationship. In those moments, we usually look to a mentor or a parent for one last piece of wisdom before we take the leap. More than 3,000 years ago, an entire nation found themselves in exactly that position. After 40 years wandering through a desert, the Israelites' journey came to a dead stop right on the border of the land they had been promised. But they were facing an immediate crisis. The only leader this generation had ever known, a man named Moses, was not allowed to cross that border with them. His journey was ending here. Before he stepped down, Moses needed to prepare this young, inexperienced generation for the challenges of building a brand new society. He delivered one massive final speech, which is recorded as the Book of Deuteronomy. Viewing these ancient pages as a mentor's parting address provides a specific perspective. This framing presents the text as the baseline preparation a vulnerable people needed to navigate their transition into a new territory. Moses begins his address by forcing the new generation to look in the rearview mirror. He recounts the harsh reality of their 40-year trek. He does this to remind them that they survived, but also to explicitly outline how their parents repeatedly rebelled and fractured their own community. He wants this new generation to avoid making those same mistakes. To prevent those errors, Moses establishes a clear set of rules. This is where the book gets its name. In Greek, Deuteronomy literally means the second law or the repeated law. Looking at the dense Hebrew text of a Torah scroll, you see the physical record of this framework. Because this younger generation was mostly children when the original laws were given, Moses restates and updates their core legal code, including the Ten Commandments. These restated laws provided the specific social and legal boundaries a nomadic group required to function as a unified, settled society. But Moses knew that a society built entirely on blind obedience to rules would eventually collapse. He needed them to have a specific internal motivation. He outlines this motivation in the Shema, a prayer that serves as the central anchor for everything else Moses says. The core instruction of this prayer is a command for the Israelites to listen and to love God with all of their heart, soul, and strength. To understand this, we have to look at how the ancient world defined love. In this context, love does not mean a warm, emotional feeling. It means active loyalty, an allegiance requiring tangible action and physical obedience. Moses is so serious about this active loyalty that he tells the parents to aggressively teach this mindset to their children. They are told to weave it into their daily routines to prevent the culture from collapsing in the future. The Shema shows that the foundation of this new nation was a relationship of mutual devotion, a distinct departure from the dictatorial empire surrounding them. With the rules and the motivations established, Moses transitions to the formal terms of their agreement. He presents this as a covenant, a strict, binding treaty between God and the nation of Israel. The terms of this treaty are clear. If the people maintain their loyalty, the positive conditions of the covenant activate, bringing peace and agricultural abundance. However, if they choose rebellion and begin worshiping foreign gods, the negative conditions take over. Moses warns that this will trigger systemic curses, leading to total societal failure. The final consequence for breaking this treaty is catastrophic. If they abandon their devotion, they will lose the promised land and face forced exile. By outlining these extreme binary stakes, Moses delivers a life-or-death ultimatum. He forces this young generation to take total responsibility for their own historical destiny. As the speech draws to a close, Moses performs one final administrative duty. To prevent a power vacuum, he officially transfers the mantle of leadership to his successor, Joshua. Then, in a bittersweet final act, Moses leaves the camp. He climbs up the slopes of Mount Nebo entirely alone, just so he can look across the border. From this sweeping vantage point, Moses gets visual confirmation of the destination he spent 40 years trying to reach. But he dies on that mountain, never setting foot inside it. Looking at this map, we see exactly where the Israelites camped. With Moses gone, the wandering is over. Prepared to cross the Jordan River, Deuteronomy stands as their definitive blueprint, the instructions that allowed them to survive the desert, remember their identity, and claim this geography.